Hey everybody, happy Friday Eve, happy Thursday, or happy whatever day you're watching this, because I see you all commenting when you're watching the replays, and thank you. It means so much to me that you're hanging out with me, even if it's not real time. So how's it going out there? I am literally could not be happier that tomorrow is Friday. Oh my gosh, I have had a week, a doozy of a week. And I did have some trouble trying to figure out this new technology, so let me know if you can hear me when you get a chance because technology is tough. Hi, Rita. Hi, Arlie. Hi, Martha. Are you driving? Martha says, I've worked in my sewing room every day this month. I have been arranging fabrics and scraps. That is awesome. The last couple of days, I have been mostly cleaning up and arranging things and getting organized because I haven't had much more than 15 minutes a day this week. It's been a tough week. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Jess. Hi, Twyla. Oops. Yes, TGIF. Okay, we can hear me. Great. Hi, Linda. Hi, Christina. Thank you. All right. I was having like a little bit of an echo again, and I'm getting it though. It's so fun. I'm not complaining because it's really, really fun trying to figure all this stuff out, but it is a little challenging, even though it sounds like I'm complaining. Hey, Sean. Oh, is Jess on a road trip? What is everybody up to? Have you had an eventful week, a peaceful week? What's been happening? We have had craziness here. Hey, Janine, still snowing and windy. My husband worked his 29th day in a row today, which takes a toll on him, but it also takes a toll on me because, right, like he's just not here. And I guess I have a new appreciation for having him around. Hi, Krista. I think I got everybody, but if I missed you, say hello to me again. And then what else? Then my daughter ended up with strep throat, which is probably, it's not a great sickness, but it's like one of my favorites because an antibiotic takes care of that one. So we ended up dealing with some strep throat, and then the kids had a snow day on Tuesday. Janine, did you get a snow day? And then Wednesday, all New York schools took off to observe Asian Lunar New Year, which I think is Chinese New Year. So I had a lot of kids home trying to work. Wow, it was an adventure. Busy week. Krista says, close to being 70 here this weekend. That's what I call a bragger. I'm just kidding. That is awesome. Can you enjoy some of that weather for me, please? Janine says, I just finished the first set of Brenda's Chaos Sew Along. Ooh, that sounds fun. Rita made her first video. Wait, more than your short, or because right, wasn't it a short last week? Did you make a video? I'm gonna go check it out. Everybody go check it out. Cheryl says, I've been string quilting through all snowstorms this week in Midwestern Ontario, but they were supposed to be my retreat project. Oh, you said that. I'm like pretty sure a couple weeks ago or last week you told me that you were afraid that you were going to sew through all your retreat projects. Yeah, a lot of schools only had a 1 hour delay, but we ended up with a 2 hour delay and then school closing. All right. Well, everybody, let's go over and hype up Rita's first video. That is so exciting. And it's a little bit scary, isn't it? But then it's just so liberating, right? You're just like, I've done it. Once you do one, the rest are easy peasy. Good for you. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to check it out. Krista says, I am bragging. You know what? If it was going to be 70 degrees here, I would be bragging too. So no shame in the bragging game. I am working on these half square triangles that I started last week with you all. I have not sewn any, but I took your advice because a lot of you out there, hi Tessa, said, why are you marking with a pen? Just use your iron. So I ironed and I'm going to give it a try. Ironing instead of drawing. Drive safe, Martha. Oh, Janine says, I'm super thankful for this Lunar New Year thing. I think that's just a New York State thing when I Googled it, because I was like very confused when I saw that on the school calendar because I'm out of the loop. Yeah, it was a nasty, nasty day yesterday. I was going to take the kids to go bebop around because it was like the first day they were feeling good. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to take the day off because they're restless. I was going to go take them to like their grandparents' house or something. But I was like, nope, we're staying home. This is crazy town. So Rita, oh my gosh, when you start editing your videos, you will discover what you say. I say so. So now you'll hear me say so a lot. I say it all the time. If you haven't noticed, I say it all the time. I try to edit some of them out though. Um, that's good. And then I do, what is the other thing I do? I do like a noise, which I never realized until I was editing my video. So now I try to edit that noise out. No, I just did it 6 times and I can't edit it out of this, but it is hilarious when you start editing your videos, the mannerisms, and they change. So I think I used to say a lot of when I first started making videos, and then I made a conscious effort to not say but instead of just eliminating it, it turned into so. So I need to figure out, I don't know how to beat that. I can't kick the so now. It's very tough. Yes, we'll see, Brenda. So I will say that I did not iron all the rest of them I had because after I got through a chunk like this, I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to love this ironing method, but I'm going to give it a fair shake. I'm making room over here. My drinks and all the stuff I pile off camera that you can't see. Hey, Dawn. Does anybody else know that they have like a specific filler word or something that you do? Hi, Katie. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Deb. Tasha. How's it going? Happy Friday Eve. I'm attempting those half square triangles using the ironing method that we discussed last week, giving my first one a go. Of course, this fabric isn't like the greatest fabric choice. It's kind of hard to even see the press on this. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this, friends. I might stick with my pen. Let's see how we did. Rita says, my preference is not ironing, as I found it makes the square seem more off than marking or using marks on the machine. So I try to talk as little as possible. Like is another one. But I mean, I grew up watching Clueless, so you know. It is a little tough for me to see. I know I do turn 40 soon. And I've been saying I probably should get to the eye doctor because it is a little tough to see. But I think I did. Ooh, this way. Ooh, this way. There we go. You can kind of see it. Looks all right. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of, I can't do the iron thing. The ironing method doesn't work for me. Rita says, that's the reason why I didn't like it, is she's seeing the fold mark. Good night, Janine. 4:45 always comes early, even when I was younger. I hope you have a safe day and a nice drive tomorrow, Janine. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's late. Aaron says, hey, everybody, it's almost Friday. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I might have had better luck with this ironing method had I ironed the pinky purple fabrics. This gray is a little tough. Can you cut and measure that to see? Well, I can. If you can entertain yourselves for a moment, I'll be right back. Oh, you can still hear me. You just can't see me. I'm grabbing my goods. So we can do science live together as a team. I just literally put all this stuff away too. Okay. So we are going to, did I grab my ruler? Yes, I thought I did. Which, by the way, I can't remember if I've mentioned this since, but one of my very first live streams, somebody said, you should try this out. This fancy rotary cutter thing. This thing's amazing. This thing's amazing. And I was nervous to try it on curve templates. It worked great. I loved it. No, Aaron, the reason why it's not working is it's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to see the line that I pressed. So I feel like I'm not being super accurate. All right, let's see here. We'll just kind of, I don't even know what size this is supposed to be. So she is Hexen, Hexen House on Instagram. Gonna want to find her on good old Insta. All right, can you see this? All right, it looks like, I mean, this looks like it's a little under 3 inches. What size am I supposed to be is the question. What size? Am I missing that page? Oh, the problem is I also don't even know what size I'm making because I didn't write that down. I don't know. So this came out to a little over 3 inches. Let me do the other one, and then I'll have to find later what it's supposed to be because it's not listed in the pattern on the pages I have. I think I've lost some of them over the years. Yes, and this one is just a hair over 3 as well. So I'm guessing that that's supposed to be 3 inches. So I think it came out pretty accurate. Let's see. I saw somebody. Okay, so Rita did not like this rotary cutter, saying I ended up putting more boo-boos on my other hand with it. Oh, interesting. I guess I keep my other hand so far away that I never could risk it. Yes, so Brenda got this because it's funny. We were having opposite finger pain. So I have finger pain right here in my thumb, and Brenda, yours is your pinky, right? And so I got mine and was like, wow, Brenda, this is a very different cutting experience. Like, I'm like, I can't be for sure if it will help you or not, but she bought it and gave it a go. And you're still using it, Brenda? Are you still using it a lot? I haven't used my straight one since I got this one. I like it so much. Yep, likes it. I have the straight one and PTSD because I may have cut off a finger. Oh, that sting. Yeah, I like this. You know, as long as I'm keeping my other hand away. Hey, Joyce. So I guess this worked, the ironing method, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to be yeah, and these are a little different. I definitely wasn't super consistent. I wish I could figure that out. Oh yeah, hurts on Brenda's palm underneath her ring finger. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth a shot if you have any hand pain, but you know, as somebody was saying, oh, Joyce doesn't like it, or doesn't, I shouldn't say, she's not too crazy about it because she's saying it keeps veering to the right. Oh, this is a Martelli. Yes, that's what it's called. Oh, you did all, Brenda used it to make all of her bags. Yeah, so you're keeping up with it. To me, the iron method puts the points a little off. Well, it was worth a shot, but I don't know. Maybe if I had better vision, it would be better. But I think I'm going to stick with the ones I marked with a pen for now. Oh, and Terry has one of these and doesn't use it. So yes, I would imagine that this is a little bit, it's a little over 3, so I have to imagine you're supposed to trim down to 3. I'm actually going to check my the PDF pattern right now, since we are doing this for science. Everlasting Star. I just need to reprint it. Huh, this says, this can't be right. Did I do something wrong? This says trim to 3 and 2.5. That means I have to trim a 1/2 inch off? That seems like a lot. Now I'm like paranoid I did this wrong. Hi. 3. Why? Why must everything be confusing? 3 and 3/8. This must be 3 and 3/8. It looks like I trimmed it to, oh, maybe I did mine 3.5 because I don't believe in eighths. That seems like something I would do. So maybe that's what's going on. It's 2 at a time, half square triangles. Oh. All right, Terry says, yes, it veers off the ruler. I've made some poor cuts with it. Interesting. I'll have to pay attention to that. I wouldn't say that I've used it enough to notice the difference yet. Take a pen and go over where you ironed it, and you'll see that it's a bit off the iron. I will do that. I'm going to test that. Joyce is going to be lurking from bed. My day started at 2 a.m. That's early. That's earlier than me, and my kids wake me up early, so get some rest, Joyce. Hopefully we can talk you right to sleep. Brenda's telling you that you need to make sure you don't press super hard and make sure your arm is lined up with where your cut is. I was veering to the right at first, too. I don't believe in eighths. Yeah, I don't. This is why this project went into timeout. Oh my goodness gracious. Truly. Painful. Yeah, 3 3/8 is close to 3.5. I think they're telling me to trim this down to 2.5. If that's the case, this thing's going back in timeout. Oh my God. That's a lot of trimming. I gotta trim a 1/2 inch off. Ugh. We'll see. Might be really going back into timeout. I'm not kidding. I don't do 3/8 lines on my rulers. I don't care about it. I'm not doing it. Okay, Twyla's saying her little, I can't remember what this is. Oh yeah, Martelli goes to the right as well. Okay. So what is worse, human kids watching you up early for four-legged furry? So, funny story, Rita. My kids now get out of bed. Our dog is crate trained and she's crated at night. And now my kids will wake up. They're old enough that, 5:45. They're not supposed to get out of bed till 6. They're not always waiting till 6. I don't know why these kids are such early birds. They'll get up at like 5:30, go out to the living room, let the dog out of her crate. The dog runs as fast as she can down the hallway to jump in bed and start licking me all over until she finally calms down and goes to sleep. So the tag team duo of those two, it's over the top. Do you have the skinny 1/2 inch ruler that you draw the 2 lines that you sew on? I don't think so. I don't. A skinny 1/2 inch ruler. I do have a funky little ruler thing somewhere that I wasn't sure what it was, that I think I got in one of those Sew sampler boxes. I'm gonna have to dig that sucker out and find out if that's what you're talking about. And if not, maybe I need to look into that. Hey, Laura, how's it going? So, Joyce, I am working on this quilt that I put in timeout, and it might go back in timeout. It is called the Everlasting Star. I started this 5 years ago, I believe, ish. Made a lot of notes to myself on this, and I used some disappearing ink that disappeared on these corner flips. I got really mad at it and stuck it in the closet, and I just dug it back out. And if I really have to trim all of these things down to 2.5 inches, it might be going back. I'm with you, Rita. I don't believe in eighths. I don't believe in eighths. The second I see an eighth, we're out. We're done. Yeah, I mean, trimming 1/2 inch off isn't so bad. I mean, it makes it perfect, but God, it's a pain in the booty. Hey, Melanie. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Deb. Did I say hi? I don't know. I'm losing track now. Oh, gosh, Rita. 5 dogs and 3 cats. That's crazier than having a bunch of kids running around. You're not. I love animal lovers, though. Man, animals are the best, though. I've been thinking about wanting a cat, or I haven't been thinking about wanting a cat. I do want a cat, but I'm waiting for that. I don't know if you guys all know the joke about the cat redistribution system. Like a cat will just find you. So I'm waiting for my cat to come find me. Hey, Chloe, because I don't think I'm going to be able to talk my husband into it otherwise. But yes, we have Joyce JK and Joyce H. Lots of hellos. Oh yeah, Erin said she'll trim my half square triangles for me. Seriously good. I know. It's funny too, because I've written a couple patterns myself, and I know that if they're doing it, there's a legitimate reason why, but you're still not my favorite if I see an eighth in there. Like, I'm just not. You put the center line on both points. I gave a quilt I started to a friend at Quilt Camp because I don't enjoy making the blocks. All right, I'm gonna have to look. I might have one of those, but didn't know what it was. Do you know what I mean? I know. I actually was just looking at my ruler because I was like, does my ruler even have eighths? Because to me, they don't exist. But there's the little notches there. I see them there. But no. Oh, Rita's got your pets in your video. Oh, no, I really can't wait to see it. Katie, I have a feeling I feel a cat's coming at some point here. I keep saying I don't want to keep anything else alive. We have the 2 kids, the dog, and chickens. Although I don't do anything with the chickens. Right now, my husband does them all because we put them in the barn for the winter. In the summertime, I was out there feeding them like fruits and stuff and collecting the eggs, but it's too cold for me. I don't know, but my husband wants to get another dog. I don't know if I'm up for another dog. Rita says 3 of the dogs are not supposed to be. Got them when they were only 3 weeks. So 3 weeks? Did you have to bottle feed it? Oh, they're going to be 2 in October. They came from a hoarder. Oh, that's so sad. Clearly perfect slotted trimmer roommate. Yeah. I feel like I normally do lots of curves these days, but back when I started this, I was just, I was really must have been digging the triangles. Oh, thank you, Brenda. I will definitely check that out. And I know, gosh, I wish I could remember where it is, but you guys have probably seen in some of the shorts my like crazy closet that I've been slowly going through. There is like 2 little things in there. Let's see here. I think I have one of those. I'm going to look for it. Okay, Melanie says, I dislike half square triangles unless I can use my paper templates. What? Can you explain? I want a paper template. What is a paper template? Block lock I've heard of too. Melanie says a slotted triangle ruler. Chloe says too much work. What's too much work? Cats, kids, dogs, half square triangles. Yeah, my so we had 2 bull terriers. My husband and I got a bull terrier like 3 months after we met. They're like the target dogs. We got Maggie. Maggie was an insane dog, cuckoo, and we thought, what could we possibly do to make Maggie calm down? Let's go get her sister from the next litter. So then we had 2 of these crazy dogs running around, Maggie and Annabelle. And then Annabelle, we don't know what happened. She died in her sleep when she was like 8 years old, like 4 or 5 years ago. And but we had Maggie up until this past summer. She was 12, which is a pretty good run for a bull terrier. And I have not Maggie was like she was the first dog we got together. Obviously, I miss Annabelle too, but like that first dog that CJ and I had, and she did everything with us. Her crate and her bed are still upstairs. I haven't gotten rid of them. Like my heart is almost ready, but it takes a while. Katie has a very spoiled Siberian cat. She's a very fluffy goofball. I like the sounds of that. Rita says, yes, I did. They did not know how to eat. Oh, you bottle fed all those to our Shar Pei, right? Is that how you say it? And what? A bull mastiff, do you mean? Or bull, is that something else? Like a huge dog? Are you saying you have one of those massive dogs? I'm going to definitely check out your video. Tasha says, I'm 44, raised 8 kids and 21 animals. Our dog is 13, and that's it. No more anything I have to keep alive. I'm with you. Oh, interesting. Like paper templates, but is it like when you say paper templates, what do we mean for a half square triangle? And maybe you guys are explaining it and I'm really far behind. Hold on. I'm going to catch up. I'm working on the double wedding ring quilt. I'm struggling with those dang curves. I've never done a double wedding ring quilt though. I want to try one out soon. Chloe says dogs, but all of it. Yeah, I agree. Dogs are just another like in the first couple years, they're just, they're funny and everything, but God, they're a lot of work. I'm sorry, Rita, you're next level crazy. A half by half square triangle? Terry says, I had a litter of 4 boy dogs who were thrown in the trash. Man, what is wrong with people at 2 weeks? And then I fostered all of them. We found a surrogate. Oh, that's good. Jeez, after a few weeks. So, Terry, you were bottle feeding dogs for weeks? Brenda uses a block clock. Cheryl uses an easy angle ruler. The ruler cuts triangles from 2.5-inch strips, minimal trimming after stitching. Wow. The dog I have now is the last of them. He's Sebastian. He's 13 years old. Well, I was going to say Spud McKenzie, but not everybody knows that. Target or Spuds McKenzie. Yeah, it's tough, Terry, man. It is tough. They're a PDF I brought from a lady, Lee Hendrick or something like that. I can pull it up. And so when you use the paper templates, it just shows you how to cut them. Joy says, I have 1 dog and 2 cats that tolerate each other. Fair enough. A bull mastiff. Rita, you're crazy. I love you. I don't even know you, but I'm into it. Oh, I cannot wait to check it out. Yeah, Rita's living the life over there. 145 pounds, but has no legs. Oh my God, Rita. Dawn. Hi, Dawn. I am cross-stitching a friend a small fish tank since she wants fish, but is scared of them. I love the people we've got in our lives. That is amazing. I would love a fish tank, but I'm scared of fish. Love that. Like not a ruler, a piece of paper you cut to the size of the hash triangle. Okay. Tasha goes, I have a wedding ring in timeout. I think it's just a template that you use to trim them, it sounds like. Ugh. Well, apparently you nailed it then. Every 2 hours. You guys are saints using the paper to cut them. Okay. Wow, Terry. That's amazing. Thank you, Brenda. I just keep telling Baron that he ran into the back end of a truck. He's a funny dog. That is awesome. We had when I was a kid, we had a 3-legged dog that we named Dewey. Dewey was the sheriff in Scream movies. We loved the name Dewey. Um, I think the Dewey was my mom. My mom has a very soft heart for dogs, so she has only 2 dogs now, but she would probably have more if she could. Um, she has a smaller house, but so she back then this dog got stepped on by a horse. It had to have its leg amputated, but it was like also abandoned, so like the thing was starving to death. And I remember she spent a lot of time and energy. I was a smaller, I don't know how old I was, a kid though. And ultimately I don't know what happened to the dog, but my mom babied that dog and I know something happened and she had to put him down. She probably didn't tell me what really happened back then, but she was trying to nurse that sucker back to health and it just didn't work out. Dewey, the 3-legged dog though, he was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now when I hear Baron, I just think of that TikTok. I like my suitcase. I don't know if any of you are TikTok junkies like I am. Yeah, I do think that the iron method could work. I mean, I guess in this case it probably would work too because I have so much room to trim, but I just can't see that well. I think it would have to be on a fabric you can see much clearer. Chloe, do you have pets? I know you said the dogs are a lot of work. Oh, let's see here. I'm just gonna grab a few of these that I have marked with pen. He was named after the Red Baron from Snoopy. All I think of when I hear Red Baron is the pizza. I'm still like a little paranoid that I am sewing these things together wrong, but they have to be correct. Pair of main print 3 3/8. Yeah. And this is, if you round 3 3/8 up, you get 3.5, right? 3 4/8. And that is what I would have done because that's who I am. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is right. Okay. No pets now. We raise boxers. Boxers are sweet dogs. My friend has a boxer. I don't know if you noticed, so I'm using a leader because when I was just trying to put that through my machine, um, it wasn't grabbing it. The feed dogs weren't grabbing it. So I was just like spinning my wheels. So when I popped that leader in, it grabbed it and then it goes. So if my machine has trouble getting started, I use it. I know some people have, what do they call them? Leaders and enders projects where they have squares that they're sewing together. But I just use I'll use this little scrap piece of fabric. You see it until it's like almost unusable. I just keep using it and using it over again. For me, I think it's the trimming of half square triangles. If I had to vote, I don't mind the sewing. Actually, I love chain piecing. Like this is my greatest time. I'm jamming out to music, chain piecing, half square chain piecing anything. Love it. Trimming, bleh, awful for me. Oh, mine. When did Maggie? I think Maggie was June. Well, I still have Sophie, but sorry to hear that. Man, sucks. A miniature boxer, Rita? That sounds fun. Terry, why do you use an ender? Does it become your leader? I put one on to begin with. And then so what? Do you just trim the thing after it and then it I guess I don't know. Yeah, I use them. I always have one nearby. Like so when I'm here actually, I wonder if you can't really see it that good. Let's see if I try again and I can explain it. So I have it here. Oh, and it just worked fine, of course. It just kind of like takes the point and it just kind of gets sucked down into the machine and it just never goes anywhere. For me. And I thought because this is my new machine, I always had that trouble with my brother. But even this one has the problem too. Oh, yeah, I don't know what the ender is. You guys need to teach me about an ender. Yes, one on the front of the chain, one on the back, so I never lose my thread in the machine. And oh, so let me think about this. I'm trying to think of what the difference is if I end my thread on this piece of fabric or on an ender. My brain can't compute what the difference is. Yes, Krista, that's what I do too. If my fabric starts getting caught up and won't go. Yes, ender then becomes the leader you cut after the ender to leave on the machine. Okay, so I use this little guy, so put it on the end. All right, so say this is the last thing I chain pieced and this is now my ender. I trim here while this is still under the needle. And then you never are cutting your thread then. Okay, I think if I understand that correctly, that makes a lot of sense. And I have recently been losing my thread, as you said, where my needle has become unthreaded, and then it's like a pain in my butt to get it out. Because I always like to pull the thread out the way it comes, because I saw that on a YouTube video once. But that makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. Good night, Joyce. I also only sew on vintage machines. Okay, try it and you will see. I leave my last unit or block under the needle, then wonder why I'm short one block, still under the needle. Okay, I understand. Very helpful. Yes, Brenda, right. Yes, I was raging because I kept unthreading the machine. That makes sense. Literally never occurred to me. I've always heard the phrase leaders and enders, never registered. Like I fully understood the need for a leader. I like figured that out without, because I'm like a little self-taught. Figured that out pretty quickly. Like just put a piece of fabric in there and it'll get you going. You're fine, but never really understood the ender. And it basically helps prevent in that thread nest too. Man. Well, maybe I need to get myself a little leader and ender project. Now I understand why people do it. And so, Erin, what I mean by that is there are some people, well, have you heard of that? It's like some people will literally just have a project that they're always doing and they're sewing their blocks together as leaders and enders. Very smart. Very smart. Yeah, extra tail of thread at the end, and the ender holds your threads for the next piece or project. Yeah, that thread nest. I've always had it too. Never knew how to prevent it. Now we know. And we learned about batting this week, last week, leaders and enders this week. I've come to realize that everything I don't understand, I'm like, oh, people do that, but I don't need to do that. There's always a really good reason why people are doing it, and I just don't know it. I have a stack of half square triangles to sew as leaders and enders. See, the problem I'm having though is sometimes I can't get this through. I need a little leader for it, like a square piece of fabric. My machines don't seem to like the points. For some reason. It's probably a Tasha problem. So what's so funny is the reason how I learned this lesson of like, if somebody says it over and over again on the internet, the Quilt Guild, whatever, there has to be a reason. Because I, in my brilliance, was like, I think that people are putting too many pins in when they base their quilts. This is overkill. I don't need to put like, the Jackie who helped teach me how to quilt was like, you shouldn't be able to fit your fist anywhere. You shouldn't be able to fit your fist anywhere. Yeah, Jackie. So what, even quilting 40 years? What do you know? What do you know? I obviously know better. And I'm going to use less pins when I'm basting one day just to see. Huge quilt, though. Big quilt. Yeah. Got done quilting it, and there was like this much batting showing on one side because everything just moved all over the place. So, you know what? Maybe Jackie and everybody else was right. And maybe I don't know better about everything. Will I still try? Because I think in my mind it could work, sure. But I know going in that it's probably wrong. Yep, Rita, we're living and we're learning. Good night, Joyce. Dawn says, I just rounded the 1/8 to the 1/2 and trim. Yep. I do to the next quarter. So if it's 3/8, I'll do a half. If it's 1/8, I'll do a quarter. My machine doesn't like points, so I put a bit under more, thinking it's going to just get trimmed off. Yeah, that's true too. That is true. Starting a little further in would help. Good night, Joyce. Rita, I do things my own ways. It works for me does not mean it'll work for someone else, for sure. I'm like, rules are meant to be broken, right? Eighths are meant to be ignored. You got to do what works for you. Um, I have wanted to try spray basting my quilts. Actually, Brenda told me about fusible batting, which I might have mentioned last time. I do want to try that someday. Yeah, but now Erin sends all of her things to a long armor like a smart lady. Not me. Well, I haven't finished anything. Like this quilt's been waiting to be finished for like 2 months now. I have done that, Rita, start further in and then do a back stitch. I do too, Laura, every time. And sometimes I just put them on or replays to fall asleep, and I still sometimes always learn something. Yeah, I need to try some spray basting. And I definitely want to try the fusible. I'm like so paranoid about mailing my quilts, Erin. I mean, I would. Cindy's stuff is gorgeous. There is a woman, Lorraine, around here that long armed my Le Fin du Monde, my big Libs Elliott quilt. She did a fantastic job. I don't know. I like my walking foot quilting on, my little quilts, but if I do anything like over 80 inches, I don't think I would ever. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know what the size is. I don't mind doing the throw quilts, the 72s by 72s, but I think anything bigger than that, I would definitely go back to the long arm. Only thing I spray on my quilts is water with essential lavender oil in it. Oh, Tasha, I knew you had a long arm, but I guess I wasn't. Maybe I did know that you long arm for other people as well. Laura says, I've always used leaders and unders because that is what my grandma did. Grandmas know. Grandmas know. Yeah, Cindy does a wonderful job. Oh, both Cheryl and Rita have issues with the spray based. Rita's allergic and it makes Cheryl sneeze. I've never used it. I don't even think I've ever purchased it. So I haven't used it for anything big or small. I did use, has anyone ever heard of it? It's like Bonash. It's like a powder. And Jackie, the one who taught me got me going on quilting, you sprinkle it on the batting and then it's like a fusible. So it makes it fusible. It's like, I don't know words, but it's like a powdered fusible. I did that in the beginning, but I found that to just be a pain in the booty as well. I like pinning. Rita does not have a long arm. All of my quilts are made for my big California King, and you just quilt on my normal machine. Wow, Rita, you're a queen. Animals and quilting a California King on a standard machine, that is queen behavior. Oh yeah, Erin had a favorite spray based and they took it off the market. She's not sure how. She wants to know why. Well, you'll find out when they're doing a class action lawsuit of whatever lung disease you're going to get from that. Yeah, I didn't have any problems that I can recall with the powder. It was a long time ago and I was 10 years younger, so my tolerance was a lot higher. I know, Rita is seriously a hero. Saving animals. Dang, up until 5 years ago, I did all of my sewing and quilting by hand. I have decided you have more patience than I will ever have in my lifetime. I could use some. I am going to hand quilt something this year. I don't know what, but something will be hand quilted this year. Dawn says, I only do straight line quilting on my domestic. Rita, what type of quilting do you do? Yeah, Rita, are you free motion quilting those California Kings? We need to know. We need to know. Oh, Rita also says you can make homemade starch using cornstarch and water. Fancy. And Brenda recommends a 3M spray, Erin. I would like to try a homemade starch. I use Best Press. I know they call it a starch alternative. But I like it. Oh, Rita says in 2000 I was told I was going blind. So about 5 years ago is when it started getting worse. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You're still sewing away? Well, Harry, there you have it. Rita is free motion just on my normal machine, not using a special foot or a walking foot. That is actually pretty almost unbelievable. That is amazing. We need videos of that, Rita. Add that to your queue of videos. We want to see that. Arlie would like to know what kind of machine you're using, Rita. So she's put out her first video. Yes, all hail Rita. We're gonna have to be stalking her channel. Krista uses faultless spray starch, like $2 at Walmart. Rita says, I still sew. I figure I do not have to see. Sewing machine sees just fine. I put some googly eyes on my sewing machine. Unbelievable. Katie Craft says, basting powder gave me an awful headache. Okay. I just use my non-computerized Singer. Dang. I feel like you need to be wearing like a leather jacket with like a nose ring, just so you could visualize like what a badass you are when you're doing that. Because that's crazy. And I'm going to stop my complaining about everything because Rita's out there going crazy on her California King. Yes, Rita has a fresh YouTube channel, Erin. Go check her out. The largest quilt I've ever done in my domestics is 84 by 84. I'll never do it again. I think the biggest I've done is 72 by 72. And that's really, I don't know if I can do it. I'm serious, Rita. Hey, hello, Andy. Andy said, I wanted to finish my jelly chain quilt tonight, but my daughter made me go on a walk. She had to do an exercise lab for a science class. Well, I hope that you enjoyed air that doesn't hurt your face for some of us that the air is currently hurting their faces. And at least, at least you got her homework done. That's so funny. Seeing eye sewing machine, says Dawn. So funny. Yes, we think Rita is hilarious. Do you? Well, wait. You almost had me because I was like, do you really have different colored stripes, or are you just saying you have like natural highlights? Because if you have colored hair, like, yeah, that counts. Rita created her channel the end of 2020, but you just posted your first video, right? Like in the last week. So we all need to go watch it. The last one I did on my domestic is a queen-ish. I roll it like a scroll. I like that you call it roll it like a scroll. So 2 tubes facing each other. Yep, I know exactly what you mean. Quilt one half, then turn around and quilt the other half. Yes, I started to do that. Rita! She has 17 different colors in her hair, quilting California King quilts on her home non-digital sewing machine. What? Unbelievable. Rescuing dogs, massive dogs with no legs. You need a television show, Rita. Or yeah, you got a lot of content for this YouTube channel. And we want to watch it. So just film your whole day. We're curious. Amazing. I'd love to see you do a free motion quilt on your Singer machine. Unbelievable. That is amazing. Love it. Oh my gosh, it's almost already 10 o'clock. What a productive live. I always I'm afraid I'm not going to have anything to talk about, and then these lives zip by. We always come up with something to talk about, that's for sure. But I'm heading over to Rita's channel as soon as this is done. I used pant skirt hangers as large clips to hold the excess half rolled up. That was one thing I was going to ask you too, Rita. I've seen people use pulley systems to really get crazy. You're using anything unique or crazy to help you get those king size quilts through your domestic machine? I know, Chloe, so fast. I wish my work day would go by this fast. Oh, today dragged. I did get a bunch done, but still dragged. Oh, and don't you know that I just brought up work and I remembered I forgot to send an email to my boss before I logged off? Why does that happen? Why couldn't I remember that 2 hours ago? Dang it. So now I'm going to have to send it. I'm going to be thinking about it. I am. So I don't know if I can. Thank you. So I am part of a it's called Fall in Love with Quilting. It's a collaboration of different quilt designers, and I think on Saturday I can give out my coupon code and you can get in for free, and there's going to be different lessons released by a whole bunch of different quilty people monthly. I think this is kind of like a little bit of a spoiler alert, but since it's in 2 days, so keep an eye out. I'll post in the Facebook group, I'll post on my community tab, and use my coupon code so that they know I'm sending people to them. Okay, Dawn, we're the same person, because literally that's what I do too. I'll just be like, email boss, email Bob, email whoever. And then when I wake up in the morning, I remember I go and check my emails from myself. Oh, man. Oh, Terry watched. Yay. Make sure if you guys go over there too, you watch her video and give it a like. All right. Well, I didn't get a ton of sewing done, but we're really not here for the sewing, are we? We did do some science on, well, look at that. That's a nice little chain piecing situation. I got some done. Terry says, I used to call my work number on my weekend and leave myself a voicemail. That's hilarious. Good night, Melanie. I know I'm gonna log off here and get to bed too because my kids, yeah, Friday, thank God. Although my son is starting wrestling and we have to be at this wrestling match at 7:30 on Saturday, and it's like 30 minutes away. I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? I'm questioning my life choices right now, but he's enjoying it, so it's okay. Thank you, everybody. Yes, it is like a necklace. My little fashion statement. Good night, everybody. Thank you for all the advice. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye.